a saying with it, like you're as recovering from an addict, you have kind of more, you have and you have like I don't want, it's not an upper hand. It's like you have a stronger tool belt, right? You have a stronger tool belt on you because it's, you have something that you fought, that you're fighting, but versus
Yeah.
somebody who doesn't have what they're not fighting, what they're not haven't fought. And
Yeah.
it builds up your resilience, it builds up your disciplines, it builds up your values even stronger. Um, versus like somebody who doesn't even know what the struggle is like in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Um, if you were to put that same energy that you would to like to getting the drugs, to using it, like working out, to finding, you know, what success means, right? Well, what does it mean to you, like for reading like a couple of amounts of books per month, or saying like
Yeah.
these books, reading these amounts of books will get me here in a sense, or something like that. Like it's another way of like channeling. You have a, there's a channel that you created of a discipline versus somebody who can't channel that energy somewhere.
Yeah.
So there's always like there's this big, there's losses, right? But then we have to look for those wins. You have to
Yeah.
look for wins because those wins are going to be there, and they're gonna put you in places where it's like it make you more confident, right? It makes it more makes you less it makes you less vulnerable to reusing, right? Or and
Yeah.
it makes more confidence to even help the other persons out, to be like, hey, like you got this, like it's something like that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say like there's there's these losses, right? But like don't always look at these losses, push them to the side, and figure out where are these wins over here.
Yeah. 100%. I mean, and the reason why I started what I was doing as well is like pushing out the message of, you know, we are soldiers. And you can, and just doing it off our iPhone, you know, you can get through whatever you're getting through, and you can have those wins. You can be successful still. You can do it, as hard as it may be. Yeah.
As you're speaking, I'm thinking about Genesis when God breathed his spirit into Adam. And what was it like when you were able to like take that deep breath after like you have journeyed through all of this and you were able to like conquer sobriety? What was it like to breathe that air of like, I'm able to do this and I am capable of doing this?
Well, I get it's an interesting question, because I do still struggle. I am only fresh in recovery, but I take that. Sometimes it's like still. I don't want to say it on a negative front, but like I still breathe it without hope, but I still breathe it like, you know, like I can do it, you know, because you've got to sometimes to get that breath, you've got to be pushing yourself like on a fitness level, you know, pushing yourself to the limit to get a different sort of breath into you, like that. You, as it was said earlier, you know, getting that, reconstructing that dopamine level when when you're exercising, you know, that sort of breath, I guess, to that level, you know. Depends how hooked you were on drugs and depends what drugs you took. I think that's the breath. Not trying to take it from not trying to take it away from a religious perspective, but that's I guess maybe what it's trying to say.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, I'm curious to know because a lot of people talk about recovery, the processes, and but for example, tell us a little bit more of what is the financial toll with that journey, and do you see the difference today? What is that difference?
Well, I'm still unemployed at the moment. I am looking for a job, but it's hard. I don't want to make excuses, but it is hard to get back into working. you know, looking, you know, because I've been unemployed for so long, being bashing around doing the wrong thing. The financial, I was just being broke every single week, living paycheck to paycheck on government support, really. And I don't even want to say how much money I've spent on drugs in the last 10 years. I mean, don't get me wrong, like I haven't used like for 10 years straight, but I'm saying like the amount of money I've spent, I couldn't even put a figure to it. It'd be disgusting. It'd be embarrassment.
You know, there's a fun game that might be like a fun playing, like a work game. Sales is like a game. It's like you have these after these calls, and then you get somebody who signs on, and it kind of helps out. It's like, oh, I got the sale, then boom.
Yeah.
It's great. It's a nice little way to kind of make money, and people are always kind of going to always look for sales people because you can never run out of sales personnel. And
Well, funny enough, actually, the last job I had was actually sales.
nice.
Yeah, but and actually, it was actually quite. It was tedious, but I held it down for 6 months. But I started using again, and but the company actually shut down. But yeah, funny enough, the last job I had was sales.
Yeah, it's definitely like a fun. It's definitely like it becomes like a hunt, right? It's like, oh wow, we're hunting down for a certain like I'm gonna do this many calls, and it's like, all right, I got a lock. I got 5 people locked in. Like, wow, this is great.
Yeah.
The energy.
But it's funny, Benson, you mentioned this because